What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 3. Now that we have made it to Storm Pass, we're going to be taking out your first real boss, which is Blade Phantom. So in addition to the 3 weapons we have, Blade Phantom will also have a Great Hammer and Claws. Now, when it comes to the Great Hammer, that's just one attack, which is usually a overhead, so I think it's really easy to read. You want to try to dodge and get behind when he does this. You can deflect it, but it is going to do a lot of stamina damage to you. Anytime he pulls out the dual whip, this will be a 6-hit combo that comes out pretty quickly. If he pulls out the claws, it's a slower 4-hit combo. However, in phase 1, it's mainly him punching at you, him kicking at you. If he pulls out a spear, it's one thrust attack. Once again, probably easier to dodge through it. If you can deflect it, that's going to do quite a bit of damage. Aside from this, he does like to teleport around, so you're just trying to read where he's at. And then if you see the great sword, it's usually just one swipe here, teleport, one swipe there. Very telegraphed, easy to read. Now when phase 2 starts, that's the real challenge. So phase 2 is going to teleport you, you're going to get a small cutscene. You'll end up being in a different arena. So this fight will always start the same way. He's usually going to jump across, swipe 4 times with his claws, then he's going to jump up into the air, throw a javelin. When he throws this javelin, it's going to also put a huge AoE under your feet. So I like to deflect the javelin, they just run out of the circle, or you can dodge twice, and you'll avoid the javelin and avoid the circle he's in. Now, once all this plays out, he's going to leap across the arena and do this huge swipe. If you're worried about it, just block through. If not, you can deflect. And aside from that, it's going to be business as usual as far as the fight goes. Now, with that being said, he does have a burst attack that's going to be added. It's always going to come when he starts a combo. He's going to fly down from the air with the greatsword. Once again, swipe here, teleport, swipe there. I think it's the 4th hit. He ends up, sending off a burst attack. If you're worried about it, dodge through it. If not, we have, recently covered how to handle this last episode. Now, everything else you guys are just going to have to see live, and, we'll break it down as we go. But like I said, about 85% of what he's doing is punching you and kicking you, and you can deflect all this easy enough. It can be hard to see. He has a cape that blows in the way, and it's also up close. However, I don't think it really takes that many attempts to truly get comfortable with it. Everything he does is telegraphed. And that's the thing with this game. Some of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in gaming. However, you seem to learn them quick, There was a few I got stuck on. Me, the guy that does platinum walkthroughs for Souls-likes, there was a few that kept me stuck for about an hour, which is crazy. But I felt like there were a lot of fun to learn. And then on top of that, most didn't really take me that long. There's like 3 that really stand out, like 30 bosses. So all are difficult. There is no easy boss in this game, in my opinion. I think once the combat clicks, then it's fair to say quite a few are easy. But while you're learning, none of them are easy. None of them are pushovers, right?
This we declare. Declare.
Alright, y'all, let's get it. So this was all leading up to a confrontation with Blade Phantom. That's what we're doing here at the moment. So, some are delayed, some come out quick. But all are kind of together in the same combo. Some come out quick, some are slower, all in the same combo. So it's not like he has slower combos and faster combos. No. They're all kind of blended in together. So just try your best to read. Even if you don't perfectly deflect, it's okay. You'll take a little bit of stamina damage blocking, it's fine. Now you gotta watch our stamina as well, guys. So, better off. Oop. Grab attack, yep. I haven't been caught by that in a long time. It kind of fucks my stamina there. But it's going to be much better to actually dodge through that Great Hammer than deflect it. I like to deflect it. It does, stamina damage to both of us, right? But it does do a lot of stamina damage to us. Now remember, you have your fire buff, but... Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what I was telling you guys. 6-hit combo if you see the duel, it comes out faster. Alright, there we go. There's phase 1. So what I was about to say is you have your fire enhancers and your buffs, but if you can't get past the boss having a little bit more damage, it's not going to do it. You've got to learn it. The boss fights in this game are very long, and it takes an immense amount of skill just learning the combat, really picking up on it, because there are some late game bosses where I swear to God, you're sitting here fighting some of them for 10 minutes, you know. On the first playthrough, I've had a fight last 15 minutes. Like, and every boss is really long. Like, the shortest boss fight's probably 6-7 minutes of not making many mistakes, you know, going through. So once we made it here, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, javelin. I'll let you deflect, run out. You can dodge the javelin, then dodge out, then he jumps back in again. If you're worried about it, you're simply just going to block. Now this always gets followed by the great sword attack. So, like I said, there's quite a bit of stamina damage blocking that. Not as much as it used to. I think they may have updated that a bit. So he's still doing his punches and kicks in phase 2. But he's got other things added as well. All in all, this is actually a pretty smooth run, guys. Now, you don't get stamina back if you do your critical from behind, but you do get more damage, depending on which weapon. Alright, so this is about to be his burst attack. So if he summons, the great sword then flies from the sky like that. His next hit, boom. Now, if you're worried about it, try to dodge to it. You cannot block. You're going to take damage from blocking. I mean, you can, but you're going to take damage. And that's it. Just Blade Phantom. Now, Netherworld Mineral is a special item you need to craft his set once you get the recipe for it. We talked about it before. Every boss has a very specific item to craft those sets. But with him being an early game boss, he's really good for everybody to farm. I told you guys before that typically every boss has a weapon-specific set, meaning some bosses, spear builders should farm because they have a really good spear set, armor and weapon include, for every weapon. But he actually can drop all 3 weapon types and give you a very good starting set that'll carry you for quite a while.
We can work together. Cooperate. You help me, I help you.
Bargain, is it? Very well. If this is what is required, we concur. No! Enough! We have but one goal. To restore order to the Netherworld.
Then help me. And I will help you do this.
Our alliance is formed. How long it lasts is up to you.
Alright, so instead of confronting him, that's why we did the trials, to confront him and get rid of him. We've chosen a different path, because we need his power to achieve our goals and get your vengeance. And, Khazan's seen that, and they also seen Khazan's no mere mortal. You're not going to overwhelm him, and he's not weak-minded. So they need his help as well, because he can just fight him off. And they're not going to find someone else with that mindset, that strength that he has.
As long as I get my revenge. And that is all that matters.
Your fate, it has changed now. The ghost will be your guide on this new path you have found.
The old woman is right. We will lead you.
Okay, so we're gonna have another cutscene, so I'm gonna skip to the rest of that. It's really it. So either way, at this point, like I said, we went there, did the trial so we could confront him to get rid of him. He was possessing us. We came to terms, made an agreement. So once you get to this, we are going to be able to unlock the crevice. So anyone that may be newer to these types of games, or Souls-like games, action RPGs, whatever you want to call them. We are going to have a main hub area. This is where all of your NPCs are going to be, your blacksmith, things of that nature. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to go through a cutscene. We're going to go over everything at the crevice. Then we're going to do what's called a bonus mission. This is essentially just a bonus boss fight, like an upgraded version of Blade Phantom, which is why I wanted to put him in the same episode, because going through with him really helps out for the next fight. I think it's going to keep it fresh and just make things much easier. And then we just kind of want to get all this out of the way so we can move forward next episode and, really start getting into the first region of the game. Then I'm going to show you guys how to farm bosses. So you can fight any boss as much as you want until we get the blacksmith, until we get the recipes for certain armor. That's the only way you're going to get armor and weapons from specific sets you want. You can fight any boss as much as you want, guys. It's an easy way to level up, easy way to get really good items without waiting forever for them.
Did you summon us?
The Order of the Netherworld. It's being disrupted by the mortal world.
Unacceptable. Resolve this now. All of us are the souls of powerful warriors. We will do as you command. But we will need a physical form. We can do nothing in the mortal world without a body. And it must be a powerful body. We must find one. One strong enough to accomplish Charon's command. You are the one we were waiting for. We concur. We concur. At last, a physical form. We thought his soul, his body, would easily be ours. But we underestimated him. It will not happen again.
Alright, so like I said, with that, you have officially made it to the
We
crevice.
have an agreement, mortal.
Now we hold you to it.
We must fulfill
Fulfill our duty to
part.
Charon.
We need the
So he's going to start talking about your next area. So we're going to go over the side mission and get on into that. There's a few things to cover. This game is broke down to 4 regions. That's it, 4 regions. I know that sounds like, oh damn, that's not much at all. However, each main region has multiple zones, right? Multiple regions with sub-regions, we'll call them. So for one, like just going through this is going to take 10 episodes, right? But you have 4, so it's about 25% of the game for each one. Either way, this is your first one. Now by the time we get done with your first region, you're really just getting set up for the journey. I don't believe the journey really starts until your second region. That's where a lot of stuff is revealed with the story. And to be honest, that's where it really starts to pick up, start getting to really cool areas. I mean, don't get me wrong, first region's a lot of fun. It's really cool areas and everything, but like I said, the story picks up in region 2. Difficulty picks way up every time you hop regions. So with the first region, you're pretty much getting one really nice set for every play style, meaning every weapon type. As far as the bosses that drop that, you're unlocking your blacksmith, and you're really just unlocking upgrade paths and things of that nature. So that is right here. Now once we get that done, your second region will be over here on the right. Your third will be over here on the left, and at the very top we see all those big crystals. That's your fourth and final region. Now you also have the realm of the living and the realm of the dead. So right now we're in the realm of the dead. Later on there'll be a portal we walk through, that's the realm of the living. So that's where all of your living NPCs will be, and then you have more of your dead NPCs, netherworld NPCs, and that's where we are here. So for instance, if I want to use a blacksmith, I got to make sure I'm in the realm of the living, and we'll cover this later, but we're here, so I'll kind of go over how things work. Now, like I said, it's the same layouts. You just walk through a portal, shifting realms. It's not that complicated. But as far as what we have access to here right now, there is no blacksmith. We don't really have many NPCs. We haven't met anybody. We haven't sent anyone here. But there are a few that are around right at the start, and there's a few things. So over here's all your rewards. Deluxe, pre-order, and then there's just been stuff added by the developers, just to kind of be cool to everybody. They have given you a few things here. So pre-order, that's that. Deluxe edition, then all this is just extra stuff they add for everybody. So there's all types of cool stuff here. And that brings me to my next thing. Right over here, we have a chest. This is going to be your storage. So if you're trying to collect every single set in the game, craft it, farm it, whatever, you could do so and then throw it in storage for those, you know, completionists out there. But anything we're not going to use or sell, might as well move over. Now, I would love to get into some of this stuff, but in case someone didn't get the pre-order or the deluxe, I don't want to have a unfair advantage. So, any special, special weapons or anything like that, I'm gonna just put them all up real quick. It's gonna take me a second. It's really just the first two of everything. Now all this stuff too, you have like the Halloween special and everything else. So anything we got from our playthroughs down here. Now some of this we can't break down or sell anyway, so you might as well just put it in storage so that you can really do with it. Now, if it's blacked out, that means it's for a character of the opposite sex. And they did add female Khazan. You cannot unlock it until after the blacksmith. So that's part of it. That's part of it. I might keep this set because I know everybody has this. It's pretty cool. But aside from that, we're putting all this other stuff up. And that should be everything we got from just the game, right? Yep, everything we got. So that could go up. That. Everything else is us. That. And that. So that should catch us on up. Anything you don't want to break down or sell, just put up. Now, right over here is Oksana. So this is someone that you could bring equipment to and break it down for lacquer. It's a good way to get levels. However, later on, you might want to sell some stuff for gold because there are items that you're going to want to buy. And when we get the blacksmith, you're going to want to break down items for upgrade materials so we can craft different weapons and different armor. I wouldn't make it a habit, but until we get that, you can bring all the gear you're not using right to her and get some levels for it. So early game, it's good, but it's not something we always want to do. There's multiple things you can do with your gear.
If it's any business of yours. Currently, my work brings me here to the crevice. I've decided to stick around here for a while, helping out fools like you. Fine. I'll help you with one thing. Bring me some items. It doesn't matter if they're yours or someone else's. I'll extract the lacrima within. That damn ghost of yours will find it useful too.
Alright, so, if you guys want to go through stuff, you get a little bit of backstory. This is not so important. But, like I said, anything we're not using, anything we don't care about, we can go ahead and, bring to her. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of everything. Now, we have on the full Hound set. Yeah, that's our first set. You don't need every single set for trophies, by the way, guys. You don't have to worry about that as far as your platinum. So, I like to just break down everything, because as we start going through the game, guys, you're going to get not just better versions of the same stuff, like higher level or higher, quality. You're going to get a lot of new stuff, too, so it doesn't really matter, right? That's unique. I'll probably put that in storage. Now, go through and don't sell anything that goes with your set that you're actually going to use. But like for me, it just doesn't really matter. We're doing dual wield and other stuff actually gives us benefits yet. So, like that's for strength. Damn, we actually almost have the full Ashen Wolf set, including the weapon. That's a really good set. So like I said, if I don't have it equipped, I'm not really going to keep it. I like this armor set, and that's part of Blade Phantom set, which is really good, but I said that was unique. We're going to keep it. So it should be good. Yeah. We only want set pieces. Any armor that's not giving you benefits, you don't want. You don't need. It's just not going to do anything for you. Because if I have a regular set, you might like the way it looks, but then I have another set that's boosting heavy attacks by 20% and fire to my weapons, and because you do get all that crazy stuff. You don't want to put on something that's not giving you decent benefits. So we got that to 20. We're gonna start working that on up. Now there's a few other things to go over. I told you to get all collectibles in every area. That it's not like a trophy for getting all collectibles. However, if you do not, you're gonna miss out on what's known as vengeance points. So this is what I was talking about. Like I said, we get to it at a certain point. So pretty much Trials of the Frozen Mountain, the most vengeance points I could get is 7 if I get every collectible. If you miss any, you get nothing. So it's all or nothing. But it's based per area, however many that you're gonna get for that area. So if you notice from both of our areas, Storm Pass and Mount Hammock, we've actually got up to 15. So the way I like to do it is get stamina damage increase first. It's gonna help for boss fights. We're gonna break their stamina or break their stagger much more often, get more critical attacks. It goes a long way. Then damage increase and damage multiplier increase. I think this is the best way to do it. Damage multiplier is actually very confusing to break down. When we start getting some real sets, I'll get into that. But these are the pretty basic stuff. So if you notice, look at that. We already got like a third through our first one. So the more upgrades you put in them, the more they're going to cost, as you may imagine. Now, from this point, now that we have covered everything, I guess just to show you really quickly, your blacksmith will be down here. Once we get him unlocked, this is quite a while away. Then over here, this is where Oksana will most likely be next time you see her. Now, if you try to go out this door, it's going to be locked. Oh, Realm of the Living is locked. Realm of the Dead is not there. But either way, there's going to be other NPCs here later on. Can't get to them right now. Doesn't really matter. Just so we're here, once again, I'll cover it. So once it makes more sense to do so, we'll get into it. Then you will have other NPCs that are just kind of standing around. Once again, this will be in the Realm of the Living. So from this point, I want to talk about farming bosses. The only thing we're doing this episode is one more boss fight. That's it. So before we get into it, if you guys jump on back to Tempest Cliff, we're going to go through Blade Phantom one more time. I want to make sure no one's getting stuck. This is something I'll do. Anytime we fight a boss, we'll probably do every boss at least twice. If we want to farm a boss's set, you know, we'll farm it. But especially the harder bosses, I would like to try to go over them a few times to make sure no one gets left behind. That's what I'm doing, guys, to help you guys out. So I don't want to think that someone may have got stuck, you know. But like I said, guys, 80% of it, just watching his timing on him punching and kicking at you, right? Then if you see the duel, that's 6-hit combo very fast. Claws, 4-hit combo very slow. Great hammer, 1 hit. Spear, 1 thrust attack. That's it. You know, that's most of his weapons right there. Now, obviously, the great sword is kind of teleporting around. That's going to work very, very, very different. Thank you. Oh, missed it. Okay. So if you can deflect the spear, it actually does a lot of status damage. Ah, we about broke his stagger a little bit short. Sorry, we should be working into phase 2 very shortly here. There we are. So, this fight actually does go quick compared to the others, but your first boss. I mean, once you learn it, right? So deflect, run out the circle, get ready to deflect again, or block if you're worried about it. Great sword, always. I didn't call that out when we initially did the breakdown because I already knew about like 10 things he's going to do at the start. Because, you know, this is always guaranteed. It's almost scripted for him to do that. Come on, stamina. Gotta get that shit up. Now you guys see why I said we're not, you know, we're not worried about damage for quite a while. It's health and stamina early on. If you can't attack, it doesn't matter. Then plus, just bringing up your natural level, you find higher level gear, so you're already getting more damage anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spear. So the spear will usually always come after that, as far as like just the regular fight. Thank you. Great sword. Probably gonna be the burst attack. Yeah. Since you get low on health, this is typically what you're gonna go for. Up swipe. Now burst attack is, you know, the next step. Once again, if you're worried about timing this, don't. It's really not that bad, and you could also just dodge through it. So like I said, you can fight bosses as much as you want until you get real armor sets going through the game. Blade Phantom, because he's Blade Phantom, he uses all weapons. His armor set's really good for a while, and he can drop a variant of the greatsword, the dual wield, and the spear. So it gives something for everybody to help them through the walkthrough. So I do recommend that. Now you can get this set from either Blade Phantom or the side mission we're about to do, because they're essentially the same guys, so they drop the same stuff. Now this next fight's the same thing, guys, the same thing. The only difference is he's not even like more aggressive or anything either, guys. What he really does is he'll change the way he does things. So he'll change the order. So if you're used to the greatsword after a spear, the hammer after 6-hit combo with dual wield, he might switch things up a bit, but you're not seeing anything new at all. He doesn't do anything. His combo will have 2 kicks in a row instead of 1. Little slight changes, so it's not that bad. Storm Pass Phantom of Combat.
You are aware that we are the convergence of several ghosts. The more ghosts we absorb, the greater our strength. Among us are those who have slumbered through ages untold. Awakening them And forging a pact is another path to gaining power. Not long ago, one of our own stirred from its long slumber. It's a formidable force we absorbed ages ago on the snowy mountain. It would be wise to harness its power.
Alright guys, so with that, now every side quest you're going to get, for one, it's always like a different version of a familiar area. So like just a different variant, you could say. So let's say when we go to Embar's Ruins, later on there'll be a side quest. It looks the same, they make certain changes. You don't see it so much with this side quest, but it is something you'll come to realize. Now aside from that, side quests have to be unlocked. So if you notice, I can go R1, I see another location. If I did not get his dialogue, you'll see a picture of the NPC you're supposed to talk to, but it will be locked behind the dialogue. So if you don't get it, you cannot do the quest. Now, to get a platinum in this game, this is going to revolve around you doing every single side quest, doing every single optional area. They're all connected. So there's 16 quest items that drop towards the back half of the game, right? Now you need all 16 to get the true ending, so to speak. So if you don't have all of those, you can't get that ending, you can't get your platinum. So most of these items, and very important items in general, are always going to be in the optional areas. Some are in main, but mainly they're in the optional areas. So it is important. And I find the optional content very satisfying in this game. It's really good. Now she's just kind of telling you more of what he just did. So if you guys want to sit through it, you can, but we're already over 30 minutes. Now before you go into this fight, over here on the left-hand side of memories, this will act as the collectible for this location. Gotta have it. Not to mention we get that soul tier dust as well. And if you guys want, let's see how many we have. We have 5 fire enhancers. I'll use one. Once again, if you can't get past the boss, fire enhancer's not gonna help. Now if you're, oh shit, if you're getting close to it, that's different. But it's not just gonna make up for not learning to fight. You know, you can't just buff up so you don't have to learn to fight. You see what I'm saying? You're not seeing anything different here. So catch to the unyielding. He actually gives us something really good once we get past him. A really nice reward. It's going to help a lot of people get through the game. Oh, just short. Just short. Yeah, we have got to get that stamina up. Now he's actually weak to burn if you can stamina enough. Come on. 2, 3, 4. Same shit. Alright, same shit. So he can do burst attacks mid-combo now. It doesn't have to be with that, you know, that special that he was doing before. Now you see how he just mixed in fucking ground attacks and a fist combo after the greatsword. That wasn't a thing before. And that's what I mean. Just kind of doing things out of the order that you're used to. A burst attack out of nowhere. See what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be through that whole combo that he used before with the greatsword. Don't get greedy. He will pay for it. Now you see how we're just laying on combos and it just doesn't really do much damage? That's what I was telling you guys, that boss fights take a long time in this game because you're never just going to do a bunch of damage. You're slowly wearing them down. I mean, you mix in your spirit skills, that'll get a little bit extra damage off, but all in all, it's just you're slowly working them down. This is not Elden Ring. You're not one-shotting nobody. There's no crazy buffs like that. You know, this game, I love it because they make you actually get skillful. Something that makes so much better, man. So much better. Because like, if you don't have the skill to get past something, you can't just buff 20 times to do it, you know? And like I said, I for one really, really appreciate that. And there you have it. Not bad. Got caught a little bit more, but like I said, it's like an advanced version of Blade Phantom. So, not bad, right? Did we get any weapons? I know we almost got his full set. But yes, we got him. We got him. We got him. Fuck yeah. Now, these I am going to use. These were not with pre-order, not deluxe. Anybody had the chance for these to drop, right? Not to mention, they're doing actually like 10 points less damage than just the basic weapons we could have got with, not from deluxe pre-order, but the gifts added. So we feel this is not going to give us a unfair advantage. Now, I want to see how much of the set we have. I think I have almost all of it. I'm not saying I have all of it, but I think it's close. Might be missing the boots. Yeah, missing the boots. That sucks. So he actually has a really cool cape on him too, but unless you have all pieces, it's not going to be there. Regardless, we're getting some pretty good benefits here. So extra stamina, potent blow, stamina damage increase of 15%. If we exhaust the enemy, break their stagger, we get 6% more damage for 30 seconds, but it can actually turn to 30% because it stacks. And brutal attack damage increased by 15%. Only thing we're missing is the special attack, because some armor sets have special attacks. You see that at the bottom? So what Phantom Judgment does is it lets you get a critical twice. So you can actually reset the critical over and over. It's really, really cool. Either way, you guys do know how to farm. I might try to farm up the boots in between episodes. Oh no, I'm not going to stick with it forever because this armor will be replaced within the next few episodes when we get our first real boss set. But like I said, it is a set I do recommend for everybody because it's really nice. It will help you get through the early game for sure. Now, once we have him taken out, you have unlocked Phantom abilities. So, Blade Phantom is possessing you. He is a culmination of many spirits. So because of that, we can equip spirits. Spirits give you different passives. Now you'll see ally effect and then awaken. Awaken comes later. So you typically will find a quest item to unlock a spirit. And if you find that same quest item later, they're unique items for every spirit, but you'll start upgrading it. So awaken level 1, awaken level 2. So to awaken, this will not come until chapter or region 3. It's going to be a long time away, don't worry about that. But the way this works is if I equip him, I'm getting stamina regeneration at another 4%. However, he levels up as we do, so we're just naturally going through killing enemies. It'll eventually get all the way up to level 20. That's maxing out. Then you'll get 30% stamina recovery rate, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I recommend using him the whole walkthrough. Your first playthrough, stamina regeneration is very important. I mean, if it's just regenerating quicker, we could lay on combos, and and that way it does make you very, very powerful. Other ones are nice, like she increases the damage of your spirits, but if you're going for platinum, can't use spirits, so that doesn't do as much good. Some spirits might increase your damage from the frontal damage. Some spirits might increase your damage from the back, so they're nice, but stamina recovery is pretty damn important. So like I said, at least for your first playthrough, that's what I'd recommend. Once you get a little bit more comfortable, you can feel free to switch things up. And just doing that has put us at 2020, so we're looking really, really, really good. And as always, guys,
Traveling with it.
if there's anything you're not using, get rid of it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really worried about the rings, since we can always just get that stuff later. You know what, I am gonna go and sell that. I'll probably put the hound set up because it is unique. Or not that it's unique, it's done. It's the full set. So we can just kind of see how many we naturally get as we go through. This set's nice too. This was added just to help everybody out. It's actually similar to the one we have. So stamina damage increase to 10%. Stamina recovery rate another 25%. That's huge. 150 max stamina. You get an extra heal. Netherworld energy. That's how many heals you have. So it's like getting an upgrade, right? And then you get a 15% damage increase overall with the full set. So it's nice. I don't want to get reliant on that extra Netherworld energy though, now that I look at it. But we do get transmog later. I think it's probably the nicest looking set, one of them in the game, now that it's been added. There's some late game sets that look like that. They just don't come for, a really, really, really long time. And I'm not going to say it's like the best looking set, the first one you see, no. I think it's on the level of some of the better looking sets. So don't worry, there's a lot of stuff in the game, guys. A lot of stuff. But either way, guys, with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap on up here. Next episode, we'll be moving into the real star of the game, in my opinion, as everything we've done up to this point is really just your tutorial area, your introduction. So with that being said, if you guys want to farm the rest of your armor, we fought the guy twice and almost got the full set. I think they have increased drop chances, so it won't be as bad as it used to be. I'd recommend it. It's going to help you out until you find something better. Because, like I said, as we take out bosses, the set we get are very specific. So, like the first boss is a spear set. Second boss would be dueled. So if you're doing strength, you're not going to get your boss set to the very end of chapter 1. It's going to be a bit. So until then, this is something that will, easily carry you through. Give you something nice. Give you something with set bonuses and, really nice benefits. But with that, we're going to wrap up here. You guys stay tuned. Please subscribe for a walkthrough, and I will see you back here shortly.